And we start tonight at 6 with the results of a 7-month investigation into former IU team doctor Brad Bomba Sr.
Yes, he was the team doctor for the men's basketball team in Bloomington, and at least 5 former players now are coming forward, filing a lawsuit, and they are accusing that doctor of sexual misconduct. Our Marina Silva spent today going through this massive 800-page report, and Marina joins us now live in studio. What did you find in that, Marina?
Well, Anne Marie and Scott, that report more than 800 pages long. This law firm, which was paid by IU to conduct their investigation. The final report claims Dr. Bomba Sr. performed rectal exams in a, quote, clinically appropriate manner. For nearly 30 years, Dr. Brad Bomba Sr. worked as the IU men's basketball team doctor. For months, multiple former players have publicly accused the doctor of sexual misconduct, saying he performed unnecessary rectal exams during physicals. A class action lawsuit has also been filed against the school, saying the administration failed to protect athletes. In September, IU hired Jones Day to do an independent investigation. The law firm says they went through 10,000 pieces of electronic documents and interviewed close to 100 people, including Dr. Bomba Sr. The report says it was standard for Bomba Sr. to perform a digital rectal exam during the pre-physical and the annual physical. Those findings also claim that at the time Bomba Sr. was trained, there was no uniform standard of care for digital rectal exams, meaning it was up to the doctor, and claim it found no evidence that he conducted the exams for sexual gratification. Earlier this year, former IU basketball star Butch Carter says he spoke up about these allegations multiple times throughout his time at IU. Attorneys representing the former players have issued statements since the report has been released. One attorney saying in part, quote, the report's conclusions do not deny or refute Bomba's actions. Instead, they attempt to zero in on why he initiated these invasive and unnecessary penetrative exams, specifically questioning whether it was for his sexual gratification. The question should be examined and decided on by an Indiana jury, not by university administrators and their hand-picked law firm, end quote. Another attorney saying, in part, the Jones Day report confirms that the IU officials knew that Dr. Bomba Sr. was penetrating these young athletes' rectums, and IU refused to stop it. The final report also says IU has changed its policies to make sports medical care at the school more uniform and regularly train staff and players about reporting concerns about sexual misconduct.
Let's talk about the weather impact. Right now it's 73 degrees. There's a live look downtown, as you can see along the American Legion Mall, that nice bright green. The sky not as blue to match. No. And that's because we've got these pop-up storms around the area.
Sort of starting our first weekend in May here with some rain, right?
With some rain, and unfortunately those chances will continue Friday and as we head into the weekend. So we do have lots to cover as we begin the month of May. Nothing severe, but I do want to alert you to this impact that Ann pointed out. We do have some rain. We do have some storms. Lightning is a danger with any storm, so keep that in mind. If you hear thunder, it's time to move those outdoor activities inside. And I am tracking one storm. One of the stronger storms is coming just north of Ellisville. This is tracking off to the east-northeast and will continue to impact northern Monroe County and southern Morgan County. So heads up Martinsville and eventually into Nineveh. Spotty showers and thunderstorms from Lafayette to Frankfort, Kokomo to Crawfordsville. This is what we expect over the next several hours. Not a widespread rain, nothing severe, but some downpours and some lightning. Those will be the threats as we head into this evening. Temperatures tomorrow afternoon back into the low 70s. You will get some dry time early Friday ahead of more rain and the potential of more storms Friday and this weekend. I'll cover all of that in the 7-day.
All right, Angela, thanks. We will check back now to other news making headlines tonight. A young mom is now pleading guilty to neglect, and she has now agreed that she will testify against her boyfriend. He is now facing murder charges for the death of her baby girl.
Our Rich Nye has been following this disturbing case for over 2 years now, and he was in the courtroom this afternoon when Madison Marshall was convicted for her role in the death of Oakley Snow.
Madison Marshall will serve 25 years in prison for her role in the death of her one-year-old daughter, Oakley Snow. Marshall admitted in court Thursday that she witnessed her boyfriend, Roan Waters, repeatedly abuse the baby girl inside this drug house on the south side of Indy. Marshall admitted she did not seek medical treatment for Oakley before she died in February 2023. She and Waters dumped the baby's body in a dresser drawer in a dilapidated cabin house in rural Morgantown.
Miss Marshall was present on the day that Oakley Snow died, and she was present when Oakley Snow was placed in the cabin. She provided that information to law enforcement, which led them to the body of Oakley Snow.
As part of a plea deal, Marshall must testify against Waters. Now that Marshall will be a key witness in Waters' murder trial, the prosecution and defense need time for depositions of Marshall. So Waters' trial has been delayed about a month until June 9th. Rich Nye, 13 News.
Tonight, IMPD is investigating a deadly shooting on the west side of Indianapolis. All of this unfolding around 2 this afternoon. Police tell us they were responding to a crash when they found a man shot inside of a car on Rolling Dunes Drive. So this is near Crawfordsville Road and Girls School Road. Medics pronounced the man dead at the scene. Tonight, police have not released any information about a possible suspect or a motive behind that shooting.
And tonight we're learning new details about a shooting in Lawrence that involved police, and it happened over the weekend on Sunday night. The new court documents filed in the case now say that police shot Courtney Wilkins after she was involved in an argument over yard work. According to those documents, neighbors told Wilkins that they didn't want her to work in their yard. That's when one of the neighbors then allegedly asked Wilkins' mom to come out and get her. A department spokesperson says that officers saw Wilkins then yelling, even holding a small dog in one arm and then a gun in the other. Police say Wilkins then allegedly shot and killed that dog. But for one officer says that she then turned that gun and pointed it at them. At last check, police say that Wilkins was in the hospital in stable condition. And we do have a new Indiana state budget, but as you can imagine, not everything that was on the wish list made the official cut. So in the final weeks of the legislative session, legislators learned of this expected $2 billion revenue shortfall, and this was going to be impacting how much money could go out over the next 2 years.
So that meant some tough decisions about what stayed in the final version of the budget and then what would come out. Our State House reporter Emily Longnecker is here tonight to talk about one item that did get left out. Emily?
Yeah, one line item that didn't survive, $2.5 million that would have gone to process hundreds of untested rape kits here in Indiana. House Bill 1416 would have created a fund to address the rape kit backlog. Those who testified in favor of the bill this session said the reason for the backlog is multifaceted and involves the cost of equipment involved in testing and the need for better pay for the technicians who do the work.
I just think people need to understand more of what these kits entail and what's inside of this, kit is this forensics of a horrific crime and someone who was courageous enough to do the exam. And we should honor every single person who's done that, and we should be testing these kits, and I will always fight for it.
Now that was Michelle Kuiper, a Ben Davis High School alum, also a sexual assault survivor. She is one of the people who was down here at the State House this legislative session testifying in support of this bill, testifying about the need for money to address this backlog of untested rape kits. And even though it didn't happen this time around, Kuiper and others I have talked to say they will continue to be down here talking about the need to get this done. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
Still ahead on this Thursday night, Fishers Agri-Park is now open for another season.
Love this view from above. We're taking a look at some of the changes that you can see there later this year to improve the experience for all visitors.
And the Mini Marathon Expo is back for another year, but tonight at a new home.
Take note of that. We have everything you need to know if you still need to go to Packet Pickup for the Mini on Saturday. Angela, what's the weather going to be like?
What you need to know as we look ahead to the first big weekend of the month of May, there is a daily rain chance. I'll have that in your forecast.